Have you ever wondered what God's favorite video game console is? If you guessed the SpongeBob Atari, you're right. When I was a young sparrow, I opened up the most flawless video game console in history on Christmas morning, the SpongeBob Atari. When you would grab this nose and take it for a ride, the fun never stopped. It was truly a monumental experience. I played it so much that I broke the sponge's nose, and my mom got me a Gamecube as a consolation. Now, if you know anything about the Gamecube, you know it matters what color you picked. If you got purple like me, you were a living legend. Orange meant you were a nerd, and silver meant that you were a tryhard, and those are the only colors as far as I'm concerned. In all seriousness, the best thing about the Gamecube was the incredible roster of games. Some of my best friends when I was a kid included Super Smash Bros. Melee, Mario Kart Double Dash, Luigi's Mansion, and a lot more. One that had always stuck out to me was Luigi's Mansion. The idea of taking up the mantle as Luigi, the younger, cowardly brother, and strapping up a vacuum to your back to save Mario seemed so unique. It managed to be vibrant and energetic in such a dull, haunted environment, and it scared the ever-living shit out of me when I was a kid. It's only right that Luigi gets shafted the first time he gets his own story. Every interaction Luigi had was terror-inducing for the poor guy. Reminds me of myself in any standard social setting. I was also always a huge fan of Mario Party, specifically Mario Party 6. There is no better feeling than losing friends in Mario Party. My friends that I played with would always try to take Yoshi from me. As long as I selected Yoshi, I always beat my friends. One caveat though is I would have to set the computer players to easy mode for this strategy to work. The best part about Mario Party is that it's complete chaos. I never walked into a game of Mario Party with others expecting to win. I walked in hoping that somebody would get so angry that they would never want to talk to or see me again. Not because of something I did, but just because the game is that frustrating. Even as a child, I knew that if you played Mario Party and embraced the chaos instead of thinking too competitively, you were in for a good time. Now there's Super Smash Bros. Melee, which I mentioned earlier. There are two phases to my love for Melee. The phase in which I thought it was cool to be able to play as Bowser, and the phase in which I knew Bowser was competitively one of the worst characters in the game. I played with my sister as a kid, and of course I used all the characters that objectively sucked. Back then though, I didn't care because Melee was endless fun. Then I realized if I was going to be able to hold my own, I needed to play a top tier to get by. To my surprise, whenever I mentioned the tier list to anybody I played against, they didn't know what I was talking about. I've come back around though, and similar to the circle of life, I'm once again a degenerate who plays with items on. Even better than that though would be the feeling of not having other grown adults ask you why you have so much technical knowledge about a children's game. We also have Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg. Truth be told, I don't remember a lot about this title other than the strange sounds the characters made and how out there of a concept this game was. If you remember this game though, you qualify for a veteran's discount. Another favorite of mine that was a little different, Animal Crossing. When I was a kid, I had a crush on Hazel the squirrel. Sometimes we would talk for so long, she would start to get annoyed with my presence and ask me to leave, which was obviously heartbreaking. I just couldn't help how I felt. Then my sister chopped down every tree in our town and destroyed all my flowers. For as relaxing of a concept as this is, my experience was surely anxiety-inducing. Great game, but all of my trust issues stem from it. If you're an avid GameCube enjoyer, you might be noticing the omission of one franchise. At this point in my life, I wasn't a major Legend of Zelda fan, probably because the games required some level of intelligence to complete. I didn't experience classics like Wind Waker until later in my life, but when I did, I found out how amazing and expansive the Legend of Zelda games are. I also found out that I haven't gotten any smarter. Now I've saved the best for last, Pikmin 2, the best GameCube game. I know this title might not be as recognizable to the average fan as others, but it captured me all the same. The horrors of losing dozens upon dozens of Pikmin against enemies that would seemingly appear out of nowhere was shocking to say the least. As a whole, with an incredible roster of games, the SpongeBob Atari takes the cake as the all-time best console. Oh no wait, I meant GameCube.